What's up, guys? Matt Brown here for playpicks.com and thelines.com, coming to you, talking to Vikings and 49ers here. Divisional round. Vikings go in, big upset over the Saints. 49ers, of course, coming off of a bye. Before we get going, we're back. Sorry we were not here last week. Had a little bit of problems with YouTube. For some reason, they shut down our channel for a week. It's okay. We're back. Hopefully all is good. So hit that subscribe button. We'll be coming to you, of course, through the Super Bowl here. So hit that subscribe button. Absolutely free content here at The Lines, at PlayPicks, everywhere like that. So be the first to know, hit that subscribe button. Also, give us a thumbs up on the video if you don't mind, and let us know in the comments how you are going to play this game this week. So let's take a look at the lines here. Of course, written breakdown at the lines, written breakdown at PlayPicks as well, and I'll leave those on the screen once we get over there. Here at DraftKings, we're sitting at 744. Over at FanDuel, sitting at 744.5, and over at PointsBet, we are sitting at 744. Now, this line opened at 6.5, moved to 7 about 10 hours later here at DraftKings. Total opened at 45.5, down to 44.5 within about 8 hours. Then it toggled between 45 and 44.5 for several, almost a day and a half before settling here at 44, where it is right now as of Friday morning. Of course, by the time you watch this, these lines could be on the move, but just so you know, timestamp here is Friday morning. Weather in this game, and I'll click over here if you guys want to read along over on the lines. Total in this, weather in this game, going to be some wind. Look, about 10, 12 mile an hour sustained, not that big of a deal, right? We always talk about this. We're looking for 20 and more. That's kind of where we start to get a little bit worried about how this could go down. Now, there maybe will be some gusts that could reach that 20 mile per hour mark, but the sustained winds just kind of in that 10 to 12 should not affect really anything here. Maybe some gusts, but we're not too worried about all of that. This Vikings team, 11-6 overall after that win last week. 10-7 against the spread, of course, coming off of that big stunner there. They went for 362 yards in that game against the Saints, which is actually their biggest yard output since week 10. So you can see this offense really came alive against the Saints over there. 49ers, 13-3 overall, 10-6 against the spread. They're coming off that first round bye, sitting back, watching everybody play and getting healthy. Scroll a little bit further down here for you. And this is, let's talk about the injury situation. Steph Diggs missed practice Tuesday. Wednesday was back on Thursday. It was an illness. It wasn't any sort of actual injury. So it was an illness. Wasn't listed on the final injury report. Looks like he is going to be good to go. Now, Adam Thielen, on the other hand, is listed as questionable with an ankle injury that he picked up during the week in practice. Now, the ankle injury apparently is some sort of really bad cut of some sort, actually described by one beat writer as a gash, and he had to have stitches put in his ankle. Apparently they're just going to try to wrap it up real bulky, real tight, and pray that those stitches are able to hold up throughout the course of the game. So just keep that in mind whenever you kind of look at this with Adam Thielen. If for whatever these stitches pop out or something, I don't know. Maybe he would have to come out of the game. I don't really know. I'm not a doctor, but again, they were just saying they're going to have to bundle it really, really tightly, and they're hoping that the stitches hold up. We hope the stitches hold up as well. On the Niners side of the ball, this has been a really, really good bye week for them. Now, the bye week didn't necessarily get them here to this state, but just over the course of the end of the season here and then the bye week, Dee Ford is questionable, but he's looking to suit up. That'll be his first time in the lineup since week 11. Jaquiski Tartt also going to look like he's going to be back for this team. First time he will suit up since week 13. They also get back linebacker Quan Alexander. He went on IR, if you guys remember, at the beginning of the season, tore that pec muscle of his, was playing really, really well for this Niners team. They get him back off of IR as well. So back Dee Ford, back Tartt, and back for Alexander for this Niners defense. Scroll down a little bit further so you can read along. Let's talk about this Vikings offense, averaging 25.5 points per game, 354 yards per game. That comes by way of 220 passing and 133 rushing. 5.8 yards per play, for this team on the regular season. They pass the ball 50.5% of the time. That is 31st in the NFL. So that lets you know that means they run the ball at the second highest rate in all of the NFL. Yes, this Vikings team is the second heaviest run team, only behind the Ravens. They are number 10 ranked overall offense according to DVOA. They're the number 10 ranked pass offense according to DVOA. They are the number 3 graded pass offense by Pro Football Focus. Number 25 graded pass blocking unit by Pro Football Focus. And now that is something you've seen. Kirk Cousins sometimes doesn't have a ton of time to throw, right? So blocking hasn't been all that great for Kirk Cousins, and that's really affected when he's had bad games. When he's had good games, he's had time to throw. When he's had bad games, it's when he's facing a lot of pressure. On the rushing side of the ball for this Vikings team, 15th ranked rush offense DVOA, 10th graded rush offense by Pro Football Focus, and 11th graded run blocking unit by Pro Football Focus. All of that tends to be pretty good whenever you want to be as heavy of a run team as you are. Converting 43.8% of third downs. That's actually 7th best in the league. Red zone touchdown percentage of 61.6%. That's 10th. So they're in the top 10 of red zone scoring, touchdown scoring. So when they get down in the red zone, they are not settling for field goals very often. I'll scroll down a little bit further so you can continue to read along here. The 49ers offense, on the other hand, averaging 29.2 points per game, 381 yards per game. That is 237 passing and 144 rushing. Second in the league in rushing per game, only behind the Ravens. 6.0 yards per play, 5th best in the NFL. They pass the ball, ready for this, 50.7% of the time. Another incredibly heavy run team here. They are 3rd in the league in rush percentage. So they are only behind the Ravens and their opponent, the Vikings. Number 7th ranked overall offense, DVOA. The San Francisco team, I know like we talk a ton about the defense and how good that has been, but this offense, number 7th overall DVOA. Number 8th ranked pass offense by DVOA. Number the 11th graded pass offense by Pro Football Focus. Number 19th graded pass blocking unit by Pro Football Focus. So a little bit below average here. That said, Garoppolo's only faced pressure on 29.8% of his dropbacks. That is absolutely one of the lowest in the league. That said, he did take a sack on 22.9% of his dropbacks. So while the raw numbers in sacks, if you go in and you look and who's been sacked the most in the league, you won't find Garoppolo like way towards the top. A lot of that lends to the fact that what did we just talk about? They don't pass the ball all that often, especially compared to other teams. They're a run-first team, this 49ers team. However, when we're looking at percentages of sacks taken to dropbacks, he is actually getting sacked 22.9%, which is way up at the top of the league here. So this offensive line is certainly going to need to step it up, keep Jimmy G from being on his back in this game. Rush offense, 13th ranked rush offense, DVOA, number 6th graded rush offense by Pro Football Focus, number 7th graded run blocking unit by Pro Football Focus. They averaged 4.6 yards per rush attempt on the season. That was 8th best in the entire NFL. They converted 45% of their third downs. That is 4th best in the league. Their red zone touchdown percentage, a little weird here, 53.2%. That's way down at 21st. So they did settle for some field goals, this 49ers offense, when they got into the red zone. I'll flip over to play picks so you can read what Juan thinks about this game. Start right there. Vikings 10th in situation neutral pace. The 49ers are 20th in situation neutral pace. If you have a 10th and you have a 20th, should equal out kind of right in the middle. Should be an average pace game here. Shouldn't be something that goes one way or the other, as I almost knocked my water bottle off of my desk here. Vikings defense. They allowed 19 points per game on the year, 340 yards per game. That came 233 passing and 107 rushing. Both of those numbers about middle of the pack. Number 7 ranked defense DVOA, number 7th ranked pass defense DVOA, and number 9th ranked rush defense DVOA. So you can see top 10, top 10, top 10. Number 4 rated defense overall by Pro Football Focus. So it agrees with DVOA here. Number 8th rated pass rush, actually. Danielle Hunter, if you know Danielle Hunter, former LSU guy, Danielle Hunter, top 5 in Pro Football Focus's pass rushing grades this year. Number 3 in coverage grade by Pro Football Focus, which is a little odd because this secondary has actually been getting torched here lately, but Pro Football Focus, whatever it is, kind of likes what they see in this Vikings team. Again, that is a little bit different than DVOA. They actually go in and just watch plays and grade out what they see. As a whole, the defense gave up 5.2 yards per play, and opponents converted 39.5% of their third downs. On the 49ers side of the ball, and I'll scroll down a little bit further so you can continue to read along. They gave up 19.4 points per game, 281 yards per game. That came 169 passing and 112 rushing. That is the fewest passing yards allowed per game in the NFL. Number 2 ranked defense DVOA, number 2 ranked pass defense DVOA, and number 11th ranked rush defense DVOA. So top two, and then just outside of the top 10 with their rush defense, according to DVOA. On the Pro Football Focus side of things, number 2 rated defense, according to Pro Football Focus, number 3 rated pass rush. You got Nick Bosa, who was Pro Football Focus's number 4 rated edge rusher. You got DeForest Buckner, who was Pro Football Focus's 9th rated interior rusher. So you got guys on this defensive line that get after the quarterback. But here's the other part that really lends to this defense. Like whenever it's sometimes you can have one or the other, and we've seen this with a lot of teams. They have both, and that is coverage grade. They do really well in coverage as well. The number 2 overall coverage grade. So the number 3 pass rush and the number 2 coverage grade. Richard Sherman was the number 2 overall corner, according to Pro Football Focus this year. Witherspoon and Mosley were both top 40 guys. Jimmy Ward at safety came in as the 16th best safety in coverage. Jaquiski Tartt, that we just talked about, is going to be back, was number 27 in the league as of all of the safeties in the entire league. So you can see the secondary was really, really, really good this year as a whole. Only gave up 4.7 yards per play and only allowed opponents to convert 33.3% of their third downs, and that was second best in the NFL. All right. So we talked about these teams here and how we think that this might go. So let's take a look at these totals. So let's make a case for the under. And if of course we wanted to do that, we'd go over here to FanDuel because we're getting that extra half point here. So let's make a case for the under. Look, one of the things is, we just talked about this, the number 2 and the number 3 most run heavy teams in the NFL. What happens when you run the ball a ton? Of course, the clock continues to run. We are talking teams that way outliers when it comes to how much that they run the ball compared to really what is the norm in today's NFL. Another way that you could make a case for the under here is, hey, look, this is a Minnesota team that's going back-to-back 2 times in back-to-back road games. You're coming out of a dome situation. You're going into an outside field situation. You don't have that fast track. You are playing on kind of the slow grass there for the 49ers. And also on the 49ers side, you have Jimmy G making his first playoff start ever. And listen, we've seen some of these guys go in and crap the bed in these situations. And so, and then let's just go back also for a case for the under could just be, we got 2 pretty good defenses here. We talked about the San Francisco 49ers defense and how they not only get after the passer, their coverage grade is really good. They're just outside of the top 10 in rush defense as well. And then you have this Vikings team, which is pretty crazy. I would not have told you that they would have been top 10 in just about all of the aspects of the defense, especially considering what I saw down the stretch. But that's what we're looking at here. We're talking about numbers. So that's how you can kind of get to an under in this game. If we want to play the over, we'll flip back over here to DraftKings or at PointsBet. Either one of these are sitting, over, are sitting here at 44. So over at DraftKings, sitting at 44, we want to play the over here. San Francisco allowed 326 total yards and 25.9 points per game over their final 9 games of the season. Now, of course, that was with some injuries. Quan Alexander went out. Of course, we talked about D Ford being out for the long time. Jaquiski Tartt being out for a long period of time. Richard Sherman actually missed a couple of games as well. But just something if we want to convince ourselves that maybe we want to get to an over here. Over the final 4 weeks of the season, opponents actually scored a touchdown on 37% of all of their possessions. That was like second to last in the league. So literally, more than every third time they touched the ball, their opponents were scoring a touchdown against this 49ers team. So again, a lot of injuries. They're getting a lot of guys back. So maybe take this with a grain of salt here. But again, if we want to look, kind of dig in a little bit further as to how maybe this thing could get over, that is certainly one of the other ways here. And another thing that this thing could get over is, hey, let's look. Let's just assume, let's go ahead and just assume that Adam Thielen's going to be able to play the whole game. We don't know that. We're just assuming. If Adam Thielen is able to play the entire game, now you have 2 weapons. Richard Sherman can only cover one of the guys. He's either going to go after cover Thielen or he's going to cover Diggs, right? One of the other guys, we're talking about really good 1A, 1B options here. And we saw that against the Saints, right? Adam Thielen, whenever he needed to make that big play down the field, was able to do that, was able to get open, had a ton. They really, really had a lot of focus on Diggs earlier in that game, and they just allowed Thielen to run wild. So again, it depends on how the 49ers want to go into this situation here. But again, another way that this thing could go over is just the fact that the 49ers, there's a lot of talent that they have to cover on the Viking side of the ball, even Dalvin Cook as a receiver out of the backfield as well. All right. So let's take a look at some player props here. And this is one that I think, look, at the end of the day, it's I'm just kind of going to play the percentages here. And, Kirk Cousins at 234.5. I already had this in my account at the under. I actually got a little bit better than the 124 juice here. So I can understand maybe if you don't want to play it now at the 124 juice, but if you do want to get it into your account, look, they're a run heavy team, and it is one of the very best secondaries he's seen all year. So 234 would be, kind of under his average anyway, as we were talking about when we were going through these offenses here, right? They only average 220 yards passing per game on the season as it is. And now they're going up against one of the very best secondaries and one of the very best pass rushes that he's going to see. Under 234.5 already in my account. I hate that it's already juiced up. I guess I'm glad to see that other people agreed with me here, but don't hate it if you want to go ahead and get that in your account as well. Maybe you can find it for better. Let's see, it's all the way down at 228 over here at FanDuel. And then if we are looking at PointsBet over here, it's 228 here as well. So you'd have to pay the juice to get the 234, but might still be worth it for you. It's not that much more than the 112 that you're paying at normal on some of these props that you have over here at DraftKings. As far as the side and total, fellas, I got this. Full disclosure, as always, this thing opened, as I said, at 6.5. When I saw it at 6.5, I took it at 6.5. So I had the 49ers power ranked better than the Saints in my personal power rankings. It was a smaller number against a team that was better according to my power rankings. That was an instant bet for me. I took the Saints at 7.5. Now that didn't work out for me, but I continue to trust my numbers. I had a good season this year. And with that being the case, I jumped on the 49ers at 6.5. Sitting at 7, look, it's not really that big of a difference, right? The only thing is it just highly increases the push likelihood here. I would still say take the 49ers at 7, but again, it's one of those things where it's the second biggest key number, as you guys know, outside of 3. It's going to be 7. It increases your push likelihood a ton, but I would still take it here at 7. Bad situation for this Vikings team, going on the road 2 weeks in a row, not playing in a dome. Now Adam Thielen pops up with some sort of injury. Diggs had some sort of illness. Now, he could get rid of that, or was he really going to be 100%? I mean, he had to miss 2 days of practice for whatever this illness was. So lots of things going here. Again, going outdoors, playing on a slow field with the slow grass and all that. And plus, you look at this linebacking core for the Minnesota Vikings. I just don't know who's going to be able to cover George Kittle in this situation. Maybe they decide to you're going to put a corner or a safety on Kittle. I mean, I don't see how that works out either. I mean, you've seen this guy just literally just thump guys to the ground, and then we're talking about way bigger guys in a corner. So huge mismatch for Kittle as well. I expect him to have a really, really good day here. And really do loved the 49ers at 6.5 and do not hate them at all, sitting at 7. And if you wanted to play just kind of a Saturday teaser as well and tease the 49ers down and pair them up in a teaser with the Ravens, I don't think that would be a terrible play either. So that's how I'm playing this game, guys. No thought here on the total because I don't want to get kind of cheap, like kicked in the balls. How this could go, this could easily be sitting, easily be sitting at like a 27-10 game or something like that. And then just a garbage score come in. And that would just be, that would be kind of a bummer. So at 44, want to be in that second key number. We talk about 37, 41, 44 when it comes to these key numbers. If this thing got exponentially ticked up over the course. We know that people love to bet the overs, especially the general betting public. If this thing somehow magically popped up to 45.5 or something like that again, maybe I would come in on the under, but no real strong play sitting here at the 44 number, but 49ers already in the account. I just don't see a way this Vikings team keeps up with this 49ers team here. Guys, as always, head over to Play Picks. Again, full written breakdown here. You can definitely go in and check out how to go about playing this game and how Juan thinks he's going to play this game. Of course, a free written breakdown, of course, over here at the lines as well. And if you live in any of the legal jurisdictions, just click on these little banners and take advantage of all these like great offers here. I mean, either free money or free bets or match bets or whatever in the hell it is. So be sure and take advantage of those at the lines and Play Picks, because again, it's an edge you're getting on the sports book. They're giving you a free bet, they're giving you a bonus, they're giving you free money to start your account, whatever it might be, and you can only get those things right here over at the lines. As always, please subscribe to that channel. Give us the thumbs up. Trying to give you as much information as humanly possible so you can make the bet that you want to make on these games here, guys. And of course, let us know down in that comment section how you are going to be playing this game if you guess the score exactly correct. As we say always, it has to be, example, Vikings 77, 49ers 78. We'll send you an Amazon gift card, so be sure and leave those in the comment section as well. See you guys back here for Titans and Ravens.